Oh, now it says I'm live. Cool. That's a huge delay.
There's only one person working at YouTube today, so they have to click all the buttons.
Oh man. I'm making the Easter YouTube person work
the one
today.
Person
I'm like, go.
who wants to earn double time.
Go, 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 go. Okay. Cool. Still says there's no one here. It says stream health is yellow, which is
out looking for eggs.
I mean, that's what Noodle's doing. Okay, well, if it's working, then I don't know, maybe it'll fix itself. What are you up to right now?
I'm looking for heat shrink.
Oh, do you want to use mine?
I'm looking for red.
Oh, why red?
Because I'm trying to mark a cable, power cable.
Ah, that makes sense.
Just use a Sharpie instead.
Okay, well, I don't know how this stream is going to go because the health seems to be poor. I'm not entirely sure why, and I've restarted it once. I'm gonna just let this run until it either nosedives into the ground and I have to stop it again, or it just fixes itself, I guess. I guess it's still going. Cool. I see that there's one of you here. Hello, one of you. Happy Egg Day, happy Equinox, happy fertility season, happy spring, happy everything. It's Noodle's favorite holiday today because it involves marshmallows, eggs, and jelly beans, which are among a few of his favorite things. Mark is preparing to pour a mold right now before we take off to my family's place, but I figured I would get a couple of these board designs done before the weekend is over and I get busy doing other things. So, where should I start? Oh, there's 3 of you here now. Okay, it's increasingly more sense-making to start talking about what I'm doing today. And the stream health is green now. Okay, well, it seems to have fixed itself. Sorry for the rough start, guys. I'm doing board routing today. I'm specifically going to make 2 boards, a primary brain board for the augment I'm building right now, which is for the neck, and an auxiliary board that just has some LEDs on it for the sake of lighting stuff up. So those are kind of fluff, but they're important because they need to be a specific shape so that they fit the thing that I'm stuffing them inside of. And the main board is going to be called the TAKO, which is Japanese for octopus, and the auxiliary board, the LED board, is going to be called the Calamari because it's going to be ring-shaped. It's going to actually look like a calamari. And the thing that these boards are going into, consequently, it's a long chain of suction cups that suck onto the neck, so it's effectively a deconstructed tentacle. And the TAKO board, the main board, is going to drive those colored LED rings as well as 8 servo motors. And then eventually there's going to be some sort of sensor input, but I haven't found a sensor yet that I want to use or I think would work. I kind of thinking it's going to be a respiratory rate sensor, something that can tell when you're breathing in and out, but I haven't yet found anything commercial that looks like it's gonna do what I want it to. There's a bunch of medical sensors, I guess, respiratory sensors, but I'm not sure if I would be able to hack any of those in the way that I want to make them work with my specific thing that I'm making. So that'll take some research, which I hate doing. So I'll get around to it later. Let's see. Mark is here with me. He is, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, getting ready to mold something. So he too is pouring silicone for his own mad purposes that he might divulge later, but maybe not, I don't know. I can show you what I'm making here. I'm going to change the view down to my, nope. That's not what I wanted. There we go. I made this cute little drawing right here. It says TAKO and Calamari Boards, just to visualize what I was talking about 2 seconds ago. You see all these little circular boards with squares on them? Those are the Calamari boards. There's going to be one for each suction cup, and then there's going to be a servo actuator for each suction cup as well. So there will be as many outputs for servos as there are rings of lights, and I'm going to try and get away with using the Atmega 328 chip because I've got a bunch of them, and I think Mark mentioned I'm going to have to use software servo on a couple of the motors because he said there's probably, I think there's only 6 PWM pins on that chip and I need 8. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 of them are gonna fake it, but that's okay, we have to do that sometimes.
Right?
And then the rest, I think I'm going to daisy chain these calamari loops. I think I'm going to use 2 pins, so there'll be 4 on each for a total of 8, and they're going to work pretty much the same way as any LED strip does, where they magically are all on 1 pin somehow. I don't know how that works. It's because they're smart, right? They're smart pixels?
Sure.
Whatever. So without further ado, I have a Eagle thing opened. Actually, I'm gonna check the chat real quick before I get too terribly carried away. The collar. Yes, I guess I can show that too. So the syringes are the motors that I just mentioned. Wait. You need to change the view, Sarah. Otherwise, no one's gonna know what you're talking about. These things. So these are the motors. You can see the little motor umbilical cord. I'm using Feet Tech motors. That's out of focus. Maybe you can see it back here. So Noodle approves of this brand. But it's basically a rack and pinion that drives a syringe. You can see that right there. And the syringe is responsible for creating a small amount of suction as the plunger goes back and forth of a suction cup, which I have been molding for the past week now. I've got a total of 4 for all of my efforts because I've been trying to make the perfect cup. And oh, I actually have them installed. Check that out. I've got 4. This is them, and they're actually on the collar right now. This is going to... Oh, I can flip it this way. You can see the inside of the suction cups right there. They look kind of like little sphincters. And then this doohickey is going to actually wrap around the neck. As such. And on the back, I am making mounting plates for all of the motors, and they will drive the air pressure in and out of these suction cups via these little straws. So the plan is that I finish making all of my cups, make the mount for the servo plunger assemblies, and then stick all of this stuff together, and around the time that I finish building all of the actual physical components, the boards will be done being fabricated and they'll be in, and then I can actually finish the thing off. Yeah? So the Calamari boards that I mentioned, those like little ringlets of lights, are going to light up each one of these cups. So these are made of silicone and they diffuse light very nicely. So each one is going to have a little ring stuffed inside of it, and it's going to light up this material from the inside. But I've got a few more to make. I think my neck is actually quite a bit narrower than my dummies, so I might need fewer than I measured on that guy behind me. Amazingly, we kind of have roughly the same body frame, me and that mannequin, except I have boobs, kind of. But yeah. Measures out pretty close. I got more ass than he does, though. Are you still looking for a heat shrink? No.
I want my box of heat shrink.
I don't know where
It's
it is.
literally disappeared.
No.
So a raptor might have taken it.
And put it in its nest?
Yes.
Maybe it's under Noodle.
Probably under Noodle.
Noodle
That wouldn't surprise me.
Noodle has bunny ears on today. He's in proper spirit. The spirit of the egg hunt. Noodle. There. I should wear this to Easter dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Hi, Baron.
Freak out Grandma.
Hello, Mom.
You're next, Grandma.
Hello, Dad. Oh, I think it's hello, Daddy. Hello, Mom. I'm a cherry bomb.
What?
It's
Is that a song? Oh.
I think so. I'm like quoting a song that I don't know. I know it from Guitar Hero. I'm a cherry bomb.
Whoa. Too much information.
Anyhow, without further ado, I'm gonna get these boards done. They're not that complicated. I just need to make sure that they have all the bells and whistles on them, and since Mark's here, wandering around the lab aimlessly trying to find a heat shrink box, he's at my disposal. Maybe I planned this all along. Maybe I hid the box so that he'd be in a holding pattern for the whole day, so that I could drag him over here to help
Can
me
I
at my
task
best.
you with something?
Oh man, what is it?
If you reach up above you, the box labeled heat shrink, which is not the one I'm looking for, it just also has what I need. The top, do you see the top?
I can't reach
above
that.
the squid. You can get on your chair.
Oh no, I'm gonna die.
Just lean up.
Be right back.
That. You want the step stool?
Yeah.
You can step on that.
No.
I have multiple stashes of heat shrink. So my backup stash is getting used.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what happened to it though.
God damn it.
I don't know things. They can see your hips. Thank you. Heat shrink. Alright.
God damn it. Okay. Okay, back to where I was doing. Back to the where and the how. I hate that the white balance on this camera is not manually adjustable, so it just sort of morphs in and out from me looking like this terrifying, like spectrally like apparition to sort of being backlit and in the shadows. Like, I got a new lamp specifically to fix this problem, and it doesn't seem like it's doing the trick, unless I, like...
You need to bring it closer.
There.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it's still doing it.
What? You need a lighting technician.
I need
for your butt.
a butt.
What's wrong? That looks lit. Do you need more light? You need more than one light, generally.
Okay. All right.
Like if you put a light on this side, then you'd have a good... yeah, it's trying to adjust to the shades. So you need to overwhelm it. You probably bring that up and closer. No, bring it closer. Closer.
I'm just gonna leave that there. That's fine.
All right. Fine.
All right. All right. Board routing. So. No. Where is it? There we go. Eagle. And I'm gonna check the chat. Cool. As long as you can hear my voice, I don't mind if it's freezing the visuals, even though that is kind of annoying. I know, the Blue Panda. I'm hoping that after I wear it for a little bit, I do get little micro hickeys that kind of go away. Like, nothing serious. Like, I don't want to give myself like a blood thing. But I do kind of want to change the coloration, at least for a couple of seconds after I take it off. If I get little pink dots, then I know I'm succeeding in life. What? Plastic sheets. Go in first. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry about the video quality, but I don't really know what to do about it. We tried resetting everything on our end, so it's probably not something that we can do anything about, which sucks. But without further ado, I don't know, is it worth doing a stream where I'm routing a board if it's cutting in and out every couple of seconds? Alright, anyhow. So, I have nothing on here. And this is the correct one, right? TAKO, okay. Alright. Let's add a thing, shall we? Alright, so I'm going to add my brain, which I have a million of Mark's libraries in my library thing. So I'm going to, it's in the @mel@mega thing, right?
Right.
And it's the @mega
328.
328 AU and MU. That's what I've got.
Oh, AU.
There's no P. I do not see a P.
Wait. Oh, AU is the regular footprint. AU is the one that's the pins you can see, and the little micro one.
Yes.
Are you going for the micro one or the bigger one?
The bigger one's probably fine.
Okay, then that it would be the AU.
Is that what I just used?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine.
Yes, AU 328.
Okay. And the next thing is how do I look up which pins are the pins I need again?
For what?
For the motors. Remember I need
You're doing
PWM?
soft PWM. Aren't you?
For 2 of them, yeah.
We can do soft on everything. I wouldn't mix that.
Right.
It isn't going to make a difference because you're using soft PWM for everything.
Alright, which pins do I use?
Any pin on soft servo because it's done in software.
Okay. So
They're going to buzz more probably, but that's what they do.
Say hypothetically I want to use the PWM pins anyway.
Then use those up first. So they're the ones with the
I say PWM.
PWM next to them.
Ah, okay.
So use those up first.
Okay. Deal. Let's...
Just know that when you use the programming pins, the MISO and MOSI, that your servo is going to freak out whenever you program unless you unplug the servo. So just be aware of that.
Okay. Well...
So if it's a critical thing, it depends on what you put on that line.
Deal. Okay, so that's like Noodle's eyes, right?
Yes.
Noodle has that terrifying...
We put those on Noodle's eyes and that worked out to our advantage. But yeah.
6. Okay, yeah, there is only 6. Okay, so there's 6 of them. Okay. And the next thing I need... Okay, so I think I'm going to solder wires directly into this board. Yeah? So, or is that a terrible idea? 6, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I'm considering something. Right? Alright. So should I use those through hole dues?
The what?
The white. So I guess I should explain this better. So there are going to be wires, raw wires coming off of this calamari are coming off of the calamari boards. They're going to be connected like daisy chain to one another, and then I think there's only going to be one wire going into the TAKO, so like most of these are actually completely inaccurate, so I'm going to remove them. So let's say one is going to be connected, and I think it'll go back in on the other end, so it'll be like that. I think that's more accurate description of what I'm going to do right now. And then the servos are going to have those servo connector things. The male headers. There. I need male headers. So I need those holes. Is that con header?
Con header.
3.
MA.
Ah, con header.
And then there's edge, right angle, straight.
Con header.
MA03.
MA03. What? Why does it go from
Are you using the
MA?
there?
This.
MA03. Open that up, and then there's that and the straight.
Okay, I think I'm gonna use straight for this.
Straight up and down. Yeah.
For the servos. Okay, so I'm going to. One. Okay, so there's 6. I need 8 though, right? I did say I needed 8. Okay, so there's my 8 servo connectors for the 8 motors, and then I only need 2 pins for the calamari. So it's a lot less than I thought. I said 8, didn't I? I need 8 pins. I don't. I need 2. And then it'll be happy. Should I connect those? I guess I should at that point. I'm trying to decide if I want to just stick raw wires into little through-hole pieces on the board and then solder the wires directly to the board so that it's like permanently connected as one nervous system thing, or if I want to have more male headers for the calamari strands and then they can like plug and unplug. Should I do it that way?
Well, if you do them as through-hole connectors, then you can have the choice of adding a connector or running a wire through it.
Good point.
But you could use the edge ones if you just want to tack down wires on solder pads, which are easier to solder.
For the ring of like the daisy chained thing of
That's how you'll do that.
how many pins is it though? Is it 3 or 4? Okay.
Goes in, out, voltage, and ground.
Okay. So MAO41. Oh man, there's like a bunch of different ways to do this one. Okay. So I need 2 of these for my 2 of whatever. Oh god. So that's these 2 strands. Do they connect back around or do they like terminate at the end?
Wait.
They do go all the way back around because there's
Right.
an in and an out, right?
Well, they go end to end, so
You're
you're returning back to the board and then feeding the next connector over and then feeding out.
okay.
So the out of the first connector is going to go to the end of the next connector on whatever has all 4 connectors on it.
Okay.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
And then the last one won't necessarily have its in or its out. Its out won't have anything because it won't come from anywhere. Well, it will, I guess, because you could infinitely add stuff. You'll get it.
Oh, I'll lick Mark next time.
Lick?
They say I should lick your face when you get really close to
No.
me.
What is it with Easter and licking faces?
My family's getting together to watch the Vegas Golden Knights game. So we're drinking and watching hockey and eating deviled eggs. And celebrating our fertility. Our whatever.
Fertile ideas.
As a family.
What?
Is this... Those are the wrong way. Wait. Did I pick the wrong thing? I think I did. That is right. Okay. Whatever. If it's wrong, then you can tell me later. But anyhow, so all of these need to be hooked up to one another. Yeah. I think I name these. Do I name them? Do I add a tag?
To what?
I added a tag to each of the pins. Now I name them, right? And then connect them
The
to...
tags are the net names, yeah, so you're going to have to match those up with wherever they go to.
So I can name them... I'm gonna name them ridiculous things.
Sure.
In that case... Hey, don't do that. Do I have to make a little piece of trace? I think I do. That's disappointing. This is me doing what I do best. Mark's like, shut up. You don't do anything best.
It's not true.
Mark's getting ready to mold a really interesting thing. Do you want to talk about it or no?
My fertility sleeve?
He's making a fertility sleeve. So you know how I've been making these little like fleshlight looking things? If in case you don't know what I'm talking about. They look like this. This is what one of those suction cups that I had around my neck looks like before it's folded in half into the position that it needs to be in to get that nice smooth lip that creates the suction surface, I guess? The part that makes contact with my neck. They're actually molded long like this. This is one of the ones that failed, like it didn't release from the mold and I ended up shredding it trying to get it out. But it's bulbous on one end and capped on the other, and then it's probably lagging and you can't see this anyway, but I fold one end back like a turtleneck or a sleeve like this, so it's halved, and it's all wonky because this is one of the failed ones again, but you get a nice lip right here. But before it's folded and in its suction cup position, it looks like this very particular shape that some of you might be familiar with. I mean, I am, at least, and I know Mark is.
What?
This shape, Mark.
I like those shapes.
Mark is
Fertility shape?
Mark is making a larger one of these today, and I'm not going to get into any more detail than that, because I don't want to gross everyone out or be too explicit, unless Mark wants to be explicit. I'll leave that up to his discretion. But Mark's making a large version of one of these, and it's going to also fit electronics similar to mine. Oh, he's here.
Before I go and stuff the deviled eggs for today's fun,
Yes.
I'll tell you what I'm making.
Okay. Sure. I'll manage the chat while you...
All right. Okay, you know, a lot of us, we're all like, we have crazy ideas in our head for sex toys, sex tech. Let's not call it sex toy. Let's call it sex tech and things you can wear on your body. So I had this crazy idea that I wanted to make something that's like a fleshlight, but it's not a fleshlight. It's a sleeve with 16 mini vibrators in it, right? So, and the idea is that, like, if you're using a vibrator, this is the not safe for work part, so hopefully none of you at work. But
yeah, if you're at work,
if you're at work, shut this off or turn off the
turn this
audio.
off
Put on your headphones. Tell
quickly.
your boss you're listening to one of the emo bands or something. But anyways, so
emo.
in the sex tech space, so whether you're a guy or a girl, if you use a vibrator, and yes, guys can use vibrators perfectly fine, you have nerve endings everywhere, not just the tip. Guys, if you focus on that, you're doing it wrong. But anyways, you have nerve endings everywhere in your nether regions. And so the idea is there's this sleeve with 16 vibrator motors, very small ones. And then a microcontroller is creating patterns of vibration in different areas.
Yeah.
In these 16 areas. So the idea is I want to develop some software over time and maybe feedback. So a lot of this is inspired by Sarah's Shibon, is if there's a way to get feedback of what I'm feeling, whether it's muscle contractions or some other thing, that I can have the programming actually know when the pleasure is good or too much or too little, or it's just patterns, but apply vibration in exactly where you want it. So it's not like you're running all 16 full blast all the time, because that'd be a short Disneyland ride. But you want to, you kind of want to apply these really subtle flutters in places without actually moving the apparatus. So you're not thrusting in and out of your fleshlight thing that you just made. You're just wearing it, and then for your own pleasure, getting there in a programmatic way. And then at some point, are there algorithms that can be developed that help you get the pleasure you're looking for, whether it's you want to go for 2 hours or you just want the best thing that you can find. So it's kind of in that realm, and it's a lot of it's inspired by just discussions I've had with Sarah and her work and Shibon. So
it's basically it's a sympathetic system that it's reacting based on what your body's telling it, so that you don't have to think about what to do yourself, which is, I think, kind of the holy grail of sex tech or sex toys, is something that creates that level of separation, because there's that whole conundrum with sex toys that is analogous to the whole concept that you can't tickle yourself. Like, it's difficult to get like a pure, like,
right.
How do I explain?
Yeah, if you do it yourself, like any toy or tickle yourself, it's hard for you to get the same response that if you have no control over it.
Yes.
And so the idea of the computer is that it senses you, but that feedback loop is really a long path. And so you're getting some balance between what your own needs are and the tickling, or not, or however the programming is, right? It's a computer. So that is the concept. So I'm building a prototype of something that's basically a sleeve, a sleeve. Sorry, a sleeve that is worn. It has an array of 16, so 4 layers of 4 around those little micro vibrators, the kind you'd find in a phone or a pager. So little tiny ones. He
made this board that drives these tiny motors, and he is making a mold that is going to have he has it right here.
This is a prototype, so like, yeah, it's going to be a little clunky in the testing room, but so this is I have this board up here. There. There's 4 connectors. I've built one squid connector. This has 4 motors. The other 3 connectors are the other 12 motors. It's 4 motors, and then the other cool feedback thing I put on here for visual feedback is this is a Neopixel Strip, 1 for each motor. And so the idea is that in this, like Sarah's doing with her neck thing, the clear or translucent silicone material will light up that region where that vibrator is going. So the programming will light up a particular LED for a particular motor, and then that way you can see what the computer's doing to you. Because with vibrations, it's like you may or may not be sure exactly which vibrator's on, but at least you can see the pattern that it's doing against these 16 LEDs, if it's swirling or going up or down or whatever.
It's interesting though, because he's been playing with different ways of getting different vibrations with the motors, because he has like a rig set up, but if you pulse them at different rates, you can get completely different sensations out of them. And the thing that comes to mind to like kind of compare this against is the switch, I think, the vibrator, somebody figured out how to program the vibration of the switch controller so that it feels like there might be multiple objects like in a box that you're holding. And I'm citing this very terribly, but you've heard about this. Like they
created a haptic sense to it.
Yes,
that's feedback. Kind of what I'm doing there. And a lot of that work is having 2 motors that are like vibrator motors, 2 or 3 motors. Is I saw a thing. I visited a small school in Massachusetts called MIT many years ago for a seminar, and some student was working on. It was a vest they wore, and it had vibrators in the along your back, like at a grid of vibrators, and it would tell you. It would sense if I'm doing this from memory, it would sense like there was a car coming behind you, and it would tell you left or right by vibrating the direction. So it would stroke across your back by lighting up the LEDs in left or right pattern. But the trick you can do with these, and this is where I learned this, is if you run like a vibrator motor at 1,000 RPM and you run one next to it at 1,002 RPM, the vibration, it feels like about 1,000 RPM, but that difference, that 2 RPM difference, will come as an oscillation. It'll kind of brush very slowly, and if you can control the vibration of the motors accurately, you can get these sensations that you're being like stroked this way or being just pushed. It's in a haptic sense. But it's that difference between the 2 fast spinning motors, that really slight difference. And if you can control that with a computer, you can programmatically make something feel like it's doing some sensation that's not just vibration anymore, but actual motion or the sensation of motion. And the switch controllers use it to some degree. And I'm going to do that here with 16 motors, is being able to synchronize them and then put them slightly out of sync to create these rocking, the sensation of a rocking boat or a moving back and forth type of thing. So I am making a motor board at the same time Sarah's making the board here. And so once those come back in about 10 days, 14 days from now, then I will test the full-blown thing that I'm going to pour today.
So Mark is actually pouring this
silicone.
It's slightly larger.
Just a little.
It's just a little bigger than this.
They stretch. That's what they told me. It would stretch a little, so don't worry about it.
But he's printing right now the mold. Like I have these tiny little mold enclosures. I've been posting videos of them on my channel. He's making kind of a large version, like a very large version.
Yeah, it's a similar build up to how her mold works, and mine is in the 3D. I put these. I molded in pockets, 16 pockets for these coin cell size vibrators. So basically, the vibrators will slip inside of these 16 pockets on this sheath, and that will hold everything into place. And then everything can be pulled back out for washing items. Anyways, so that's what I'm doing today. It's kind of like version 1.
Suckler.
The suckler, the he-bone. You call it Skeletor.
Suckler. I'm thinking of just calling. I still haven't figured out a name for this thing. Like I've been calling it the hickey collar, but that's a really awful name for a thing. And I would add it to the Shibon site, but I don't have a name. So
Yeah, nothing like rolls
really
off the tongue
has
in
a
a funny way.
because like, they're all puns. They're all like
Yeah.
really childish sounding puns so far, and I kind of want to roll with that. And it's definitely octopus or cephalopod themed in nature, but I don't know what I want to call it.
Cephaloscarf.
That sounds like a disease. Like, Jesus.
You've got cephaloscarf.
You've got cephaloscarf. Cockleitis.
Cloacitis.
Cockleitis.
Cockleitis.
You've got cockleitis.
I don't know.
I think I don't know. Suckshall. It used to be
Suckshall.
Called, it used to be called the Suckshall.
Suckshall redemption.
It was the Suckshall, but then I decided that doesn't. It's not a shawl anymore. It's a choker. But the Suck choker doesn't really have the same ring to it as anything else. Suck. I don't know if I'm married to the word suck either. It's like a suckle scarf.
The necklash.
The suckle.
I'm just throwing things. The suckler.
Suckle scarf.
Suckle scarf.
The suckle
Sounds
scarf.
like a house in Harry Potter. Anyways.
So I can use any one of these other pins. Should I not use TX and RX?
I would not, in case you need to do debug. So I would always leave those free and then put them on test points.
Fine.
So you can get
Fine. How about
It was good talking to everybody. I'm gonna go back to soldering and then stuffing some deviled eggs. Although I need your help because you're gonna add your secret habanero recipe.
Okay, in another I'm gonna get as much done here in the next hour and a half, and then I'm gonna need to do eggs. But wait, before you fuck off somewhere, come here.
What?
I need 2 more pins. Should I use D13 and 12? That's miso, never mind. Fuck, NSCK. Should I use
What are you trying to do?
PV6 and 7?
You need
I need 2 more motors.
That's the Extol pins. You need to put your crystal on those pins.
Okay, then what other pins can I use? I need 4 more.
What are you trying to do?
I need 2 more for 2 more motors and 2 more for the data lines for the strands of LRDs.
I'd probably just group all my motors together so you can use these other D7,
but
D4, D2.
So D2 and D7? Or D4 and D7?
Yeah, just don't use TXRX, but use up these and then you can start using these.
Okay.
The Neopixel library uses any pin.
But I don't want those to be connected. Why did it do that?
It doesn't like. Oh, you have to put a dot first.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot.
Thanks all. Have fun.
Thank
Happy
you, Mark.
Easter.
See, there's your dose of fertility for the egg day. Wait. God.
They call me the lone fertilizer.
You are the lone fertilizer.
Yep.
Noodle. That's not nice.
Sucks, y'all.
Wait, what? How many grounds are on the PCB? I don't know. I think there's 2 or 3. I think. I could be wrong though. Pyro asked how many grounds there are on the Atmega 328. Does anyone know? I don't know off the top of my head. Should be sex tech, but I can't hear. I would love to be on that show. I don't know. I don't watch TV, so I don't know what it is. Stupid morning bullshit totally sounds like the type of show Mark and I would want to be on if we were on a show. So it hums the bar, so to speak. Yes. Think of something, but I've got... Yeah, I can't think of anything either. Suction hammer? The suck hammer. I like suck hammer. I don't know. I think I want this one to be a little bit more delicate sounding though, because it is a scarf. It's it's a thing worn on the neck. So I want it to have a nice, elegant sound, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But in my mind, it's the one augment that I kind of want to sound less awful and abrupt. Less abrupt than, I don't know. the crotch salmon. That's actually called the beatbox. I guess none of them really sound awful and abrupt. But I don't know. It'll come to me. It'll be one morning I'll be laying in bed and like the perfect name will just like pop into my head, but it hasn't happened yet. A rough sweat is called the priest collar, which is also what we called oxeye daisies? Really? The word for those are called priest collar. Interesting. And collars are just called a rough, apparently not sure. Tentacle. I like tentacle.
The Hitler.
Mr. Bong. Tentacle.
Tentacle.
Tentacle. I like that. Tentacle. Hickle. It's like suckle. It's like hickey and suckle in one word. Hickle. Like, I definitely like that. Your internet and live streams, some of those are shown on TV, but I wouldn't know. Hummer. Hummer, not hammer. I'm sorry.
Hummer. What?
Schumer. Suction. Hummer. I thought it said, I'm so sorry.
Suckhammer?
Suckhammer. I was
Wow.
like, damn. Speaking of, one of the things I'm gonna try and make.
The Suckhammer.
Suckhammer.
Wow.
I like Suckhammer.
Your money back.
Are your money back? Yes.
It's the German edition.
On Adult Swim streams on weekdays. Okay, it's not on TV. I don't watch streams either. I guess when I say I don't watch TV, I mean I don't watch content. I don't watch things, and it's bad. Like, I need to change that, but I don't know. I'm always busy. Kind of like Mark's always busy. And if I, like, shut off for the end of the day to do something, I'm always playing video games rather than watching things. Mark's a different story, though. His naming. His invention, by the way. Ah, okay. The suction hammer, the suction hummer, not hammer, I'm sorry, is an invention. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm like misreading all of this because I suck. Okay, your naming marks. RK297 says, for your invention, the hummer. The suction hummer. I like suckhammer though. Mark, you should
What?
put a handle on it so it looks like a hammer, and it can be like one of those concrete sledgehammers, but there's a
vibrator.
yeah, it's full of vibrators, and you put your dong in it, and it can be the hammer.
Suckhammer.
Okay, back to whatever I was doing. Why? Oh yeah, I have to put a little thing. Do I have the right? No. Oh god, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay. How do I get back to Eagle? There. There. Okay. I got 2 new lamps at IKEA this week. Or last week now, I guess. One of them is this guy that's supposed to be helping fix the auto balance, but it doesn't seem to be doing the trick. And the other is hanging over Noodle over there. And I named them because I'm really into lamps a lot. Like when I was a little kid, I remember when your parents would take you to like Sears or one of those department stores where they had a lighting section? That was my favorite section. Like when I was a kid, I wanted my room to look like the lamp section in a department store where there's just like a million things hanging from the ceiling, like lit at the same time. So I think to some degree I'm going to achieve this, like make a cluster of lamps hanging above Noodle so that Noodle's room can be like the way I wanted my childhood room to be. But this is the first one. I named it, this one's Lampa, and then Lumi is right here. I gotta take a picture of Lumi so you can see how beautiful he is. It is. They are. I don't know. Alright. Let's name the rest of these. Sucker 7. Sucker 8. And then I can start routing. So how do you guys like your deviled eggs? Since everyone I know that's coming to the family dinner is also making eggs, like deviled eggs, it's like everyone makes deviled eggs. I make these habanero deviled eggs that are like really hot, and they have like mustard powder and habanero salsa or sauce in them, and a good amount of Dijon mustard, but they're like very they're very hot. And everyone eats them up super fast, and I only ever make them for Easter or Egg Day or whatever you want to call it. So I get to enjoy them now, but they'll be gone soon. Is there another pin there? Alright, there is. D2 and... I'm gonna say maybe these ones? PC4 and PC5? I don't know what SDA and SCL means, but I don't know. Screw it. Mark will tell me to move them if that's bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and use those for my lights. And I'm pretty sure the pin that I want for... How would those go? I guess it doesn't matter if I'm making my own connector, but... I think it's power ground in and out on those. Pretty sure. Whatever. Let's switch over to board mode and see what the board's looking like. So here's my TAKO. It looks like a TAKO. It's supposed to look like a TAKO. I think the chip is going to go here. And then I'm gonna put a circle here so it's like 2 eyes. Yes, that's very important. Yes, it must be that way. Okay, so... And this poor octopus is going to have way more than 8 tentacles, but that's okay. Okay, so maybe not exactly there, but close to there. Let's just put you up here for now so that I can see where all these things have to go. Okay, so you're on my way end, like maybe here. That's my pin 2. Actually, I think those... Yes, okay, so... Haha, I lied. I just have to get these in order. Those of you who have routed boards know all about this, trying to figure out where the smart place to put everything is. And the other thing I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know right now what I'm gonna do, I have to decide what color I want this specific board to be. Because the calamari rings are going to be white. This board, however, I'm thinking about having made in black. No particular reason. Although yellow seems like it might be a good idea too. I've, for whatever reason, adopted a very, very, a very yellow or orange accent color for the assemblies. The the suction cup and syringe assemblies. All the little accent colors, like the rubber bands I use and the little caps that plug into the syringe, are kind of like this like medical looking orange yellow color, so I think I'm gonna like carry that throughout the design of this augment. So I'm thinking of having the TAKO board made in the yellow solder mask, although I might do black. I've never actually had a board made in yellow solder mask, and yellow is my favorite color, so I might do it just for the excitement of making something in my favorite color, cause why not? Okay, now I can space these out a little better. I hope that's enough. One of the things I did that I kind of regret, on my Noodles brain board, all of the connectors, similar to this one, they all come out the bottom of the board on right angle headers, but I spaced them too close together, or rather exactly the amount that they needed to be, like the minimum distance from one another. So when I try to plug all the servos in the bottom, they mash so tightly that they kind of fan out on the sides, because I think he has 10 servo motors that plug into his brain, and it's just like this chunk of servo connectors just like mashing out the bottom of his head brain. It looks like it's a mess. So I'm gonna make sure I properly space these out. Maybe you get to go here. So this board's gonna effectively look like Noodle Feet's head. Or it might go in the middle and he'll have other eyes. The octopus can have like a black square on its forehead. Uh-oh. Oh no. There we go. Oh no, you weren't. No, Badger Pig, you weren't invited to the Easter thing this year. Why? Did they do that? That's messed up. Aw, I hate when they assume you're busy and they just don't. I know we got invited to our larger family dinner by the other part of our family here in Vegas, and I think like my family, like my parents, are just not going. And of course I'm going to spend Easter with my parents, but they kind of blew off the rest of the family. I think that's what happened. I might be wrong. But we were going over to my cousin's house, and I think like my grandma and my aunt and like the whole extended family were going to show up to this soiree that they're holding. But my mom found out that the hockey game was on at 4, and she really wants to see the hockey game, so we're just staying at my parents' place and watching it there, I think, which is kind of messed up, but whatever. That means that some portion of the eggs will never reach my mouth. And it is more of a jellyfish. You are definitely correct, Badger Pig. But yeah, lighting sections are awesome. Yeah, sorry I didn't catch the, I didn't moderate the thing faster. People they're like weeds. If you don't stomp them down very quick, then they just take hold and eat your entire yard up. Anyhow, back to the thing. I'm not sure the order these pins need to go in, but I do need a ground, and I do need... How do I do this? Search. VCC? Yeah? We'll go with the triangle VCC. And I do know on servo motors, it is in the middle, correct? There's copy. Okay. So I'm gonna do as much of this as I possibly can, and then Mark's gonna come back in from the outside, whatever he's doing. Actually not sure. He got a laser cutter this weekend, so he's been setting that up in the barn outside. Or in the back room, or wherever he's putting it. So he's out doing whatever it is that he does, getting that prepped and ready. And I know that when the print for his silicone mold is done, he'll be in here casting, pouring, doing. But again, I'm gonna try and get as much done without him and before I leave. So I think he's sending his boards to Fab sometime this week, and I want mine to go out with his so that I don't have to pay for shipping. So I'm going to try and finish as quickly as possible so that I can stare at the board design for a while and make sure I'm absolutely okay with what I did before I send it away. Okay. Ah. Cool. It seems to me like everything is happy. Maybe. So the way that I do traces is I use this thing right here at the top, this ziggy-zaggy weird, it says wire bend style 7, whatever the hell that is. It's the reason why I won't upgrade my Eagle, because according to Mark, they got rid of that option in the new version. So I'm running a older version of EagleCAD just because it's very important to me that, say 13 more. Why is that not on the trays? Oh, mill. That's... There we go. No? What the hell? Does this need to be 0.01? There we go. Where is this going? Is it not going to let me? I guess I do need to be on the right side. That would help. Wait, why is this not connected? Did I do something wrong? I think I did. Mark? Help! I did something wrong. Already. I haven't even started routing this thing yet. I need your assistance when you have a free second. Let's see if I can figure it out on my own, though. I doubt I can.
Peeling a dozen eggs.
Oh, the peeling of eggs?
The peeling of the eggs.
Which ones did you use? Are they the normal ones or the,
I used the
chicken range?
I used the not free chickens.
Oh.
The slave chickens.
The slave chickens.
The prison chickens.
The taste of bitterness.
Because those are the ones the family gets. We'll keep the good ones for ourselves. How selfish. Anyways.
Okay. Something weird is happening. So when I go to make the trace... Oh god. Was I not... Oh, never mind. I was probably using the wrong thing.
If you click on the yellow anywhere, it'll attach and then it'll do the
I was using the line tool. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you don't.
I was being dumb.
You can use that, but it's different.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna go... Okay, I'm gonna do the wiggles. This is the part Mark hates. He hates watching this.
No.
Right?
Yep.
I know you hate this. I don't really do anything, like, fancy. Fancy. When I do the wiggle routing, it's kind of whatever ends up happening on accident. But the fun thing about it is when you put down the first trace, all of your traces that come after that have to work around what you've already done. So you're constantly adapting to what is already there. So like the most crucial trace is the very first one, because every one that you make after that is bound by the constraints of the one that came before it. And I think that is sort of where my heart is at when routing these things. Oh. Oh, that's my power. Okay, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna pop a via. I'm gonna put it right there. And I'm gonna stuff this right here. And then bam. There. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And I'll probably change the via type to round. I don't know why it defaults to square. It seems like not the default type of shape for that sort of thing. But whatever. Who am I? I don't know anything. I do need to make my ground plane, which will account for the middle thing part of those pins, but I'll do that later. I wanna get this wiggling in. The wiggling. No. Oh, wait, that needs to be connected too. There. I remember last year at this time, I was designing the pulse board for Shiban and the beatbox, the salmon filet-o, whatever I called it, the filet-o board. So I was making a salmon-like sushi board and the heart, which was really super fun to make. Like, I had so much fun routing that thing. And I think I'm about ready to make another revision of it, because the current one that I've been working with, it's been modified and edited so much at this point you wouldn't recognize it. Like, it used to look like this nice polished heart that was very beautifully mounted in the center of the backpack, and now there's like all these like tumor wires and modules that have been soldered directly onto the chip sticking off of it, and then Mark secured those wires down with like hot glue, because he had to actually use magnet wire to solder in a connector directly to the pins of the chip. So there's all these little like hairs coming off of it now, and it looks like, I mean, it looks really cool in my humble opinion, but it's probably time that I write down all the things that were wrong with it and then fix it and make it better. It's time. Noodle says it's the best day. And what is this? What are you? Oh, you're also power? Oh, those are ground. Oh. Oh, okay. That's not what I want then. There. No. That's correct. Alright, I did a boo. Boo boo boo. I did a boop-a-doo. Alright, is it you? I don't want that. Alright, fine, I'll do the ground plane now. It's happening. Okay. Ground plane. No, I want a box down there. Or a line. I think Mark said this needed to be a line. I'm doing this wrong. Not dimensions. I think that's not what I'm supposed to do. I'll ask Mark when he's back in here. Mark! Mark! Ah! Let me... How do I make the ground plane again?
You draw a polygon.
I thought I did that.
And the approximate shape.
Is it this?
Yeah, what's the width on it?
What layer does it need to go on?
That's the same width. It goes on top and bottom. So you can sculpt this shape. Well, you can do it later, but yeah, snap that to 0. Oh wow, what's your grid on? Why you do that? No. Get rid of that. Escape. Set your grid to 1 millimeter. Y'all crazy. Okay. All right, now do the do. And you can make... You should approximate the shape of the thing. It'll just make other things easier. Well, you just didn't listen to me. Okay. So now make it... No, don't make it exactly... There you go. On that side, make it exactly. All right, now use the polygon bend tool. No? You're gonna just ignore me?
I thought you just name it and then it automatically does.
Does, I guess. I like to... Yeah, whatever. Go with that. I'm always worried if I make it oversized, then the board house makes it think you have a bigger board and charges you more. So, but that I could be wrong. All right, so there. Yeah, and you didn't close the polygon for your board outline, so that's why it's extending. So something you did not close. No, not that. So your white lines, is that the dimension layer?
No.
Where did that come from?
What?
That outline of your board.
It's on dimensions.
Is it? It's not a closed shape. So now use the move tool and pick up various aspects of it. Okay, hit escape. Hit the next section. Drag it. Hit escape. Hit the bottom section.
It is closed.
It's saying it's not.
Well, it's drunk.
Maybe those circles need to be... I don't know, it should be clipping all of that off because it's not going to use it. Check the white line. Right click properties. T-place. There you go. Change that layer to dimension. There you go. Prop. Up 20. Okay. All right. I think you have to change all those. Yay. Winning. 20. Above T-place.
I clicked the wrong one.
I know.
I did it bad.
I'm gonna make eggs.
Do you need me to scoop?
I'm gonna put it all in the fridge when I'm done, and you can finish up
Okay.
the process.
I think I clicked. Doesn't look like it went. There. Oh God. Why? Why did it do it that way? I'm confused. I don't understand what's happening. I'm not gonna bug him yet. I don't know why those shapes are still there. I'm going to keep routing my happy face. Okie dokie. No. Okay. Board routing intensifies. There's something still very wrong with this board, but again, I'm ignoring it because... Nope, I'm not entirely sure why it's doing that. That is weird. Weird. Okay. That's fine. It won't let me name it, which is really am filled with gratuitous amounts of sadness at the fact that I cannot figure that out on my own. It's okay. We're going to ignore it for now. Oh, such as it is. Oh. I mean, this is effectively what it's gonna be. I'm gonna save this and come back to it. There's another important thing that I need to work on that is a board, and that is that Calamari ringlet. That one I already started. That one has even less crap going on with it. Even less crap. That's this guy. There we go. If I switch this over, I already have this going on. It's right here. And these are my tiny little RGB LEDs. And there will be 8. Whether... I think maybe I do. I can angle these at the appropriate angle. What does 45 do? That's not what I wanted. These might all be the wrong way. Okay. I'm going to try and do this. These all need to be pointed in a not stupid direction, because they need to be daisy chained together. I think this is correct? Maybe? I don't even know. What are you doing, Sarah? Okay, so if I start routing this, just... yeah. That's what I thought. So you go in there. No. Why are you that way? Okay, so that's like power or something. And that's ground, and then... no. No! And then you... that's signal, so that's the final signal. This is the not final signal. Okay. Sarah, you just have to know what you're doing, Sarah. Okay, okay, okay. I think that's how that goes. I'll worry about the exact position of these in a second. For the time being, Oh man, look at this. Wait, no, I'm gonna do it really small, even though Mark hates when I do it really small. Millimeter, not mil. Okay. Now I can do my wiggle traces. Maybe.
I'm not sure if you were calling me.
I was. It's doing something bad.
I had
But
an Alan Parsons project song in my head so loud I really couldn't hear anything else.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means.
What? It was the heat of the moment.
What moment were you heating?
I don't know.
I'm doing some other horrible thing now.
Doing God's work now.
I am doing
The Noodle God.
the Noodle God. Noodle says that's the only one that has any meaning. Shh. No. Terminates thusly.
That is the last, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so if I go back to the other board.
You're doing 2 boards at once?
Yes.
Oh my god, you saved, right?
I think so. Yes. Okay, so if I hit this, it does really weird things.
The T layer again. Did you change that to top to dimension?
Yeah.
Okay, turn everything off. Turn all layers off. Oh, that might, I know what that is. So turn on just dimension and top. All right, right click on the polygon, hit properties, and then these orphans, is it there? Polygon pour solid, no orphans. Where's the rank? Do rank to 5. Make it a low level. Try that.
Why is everything broken today?
Try dragging those lines. I think you didn't convert one of those to. Well, no, you only have dimension on, do you?
Yes.
One of those is. No, that's just dirt on your screen.
Dab with my pinkies.
Something is out. Oh, are your pad? Do you have any pads still outside the outline?
I don't
Do you have any
think
components not placed? Turn everything back on.
No.
Nothing's outside that outline?
No.
Oh, it's because these probably go too close to the edge. Load a different, load the Osh Park or Seed design DRC. So load. And then design rules. Do you have those? Have you been doing this without any of that all this time?
I thought I had been. I thought I was using Osh Park's thing.
Go to your, I think that's a different DRU. Try, where do you keep your design rules at? Do you know?
Nope. My signal is still shit.
I don't know what's up with that.
Would it be in my face?
There. You should add that. Oh yeah, just load it. This one. Okay, do apply. Over lower left corner. Lower left. Lower. All right. Hit. Close that out. Now hit the rescan. There. It didn't fix it. Oh, I don't know. Why would you do that? Not supposed to do that.
Ah. She
I
suffers.
don't know. I never had that happen. Something has not been set. Turn all layers on.
They are.
You've turned every last layer on? Okay.
Oh.
Is your outline lines or a polygon?
What?
Your board outline.
They were lines that
You might have to do that as also a polygon. Yeah, that has to be a polygon. You're doing them as separate lines, and it doesn't care about lines. So move that to like a different layer so you can trace it.
Mm-hmm.
So change that to like TAKO and make it yellow or some other reference. And now turn everything off. Here, do this. Turn everything off except for dimension. Okay. All right, now select that whole thing. Up, go to the top. Go past it. You didn't get the whole thing. Do it again. Select the icon again. All right, do wrench, change layer, TAKO, or reference actually. It's in your measurement document. You just have it there, 40 something.
What am I looking for?
Reference.
Oh.
All right, right click, change group. All right, now do a polygon. Where'd you get this from? Did you import a DXF or something?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure you're on the right. You're doing it on reference layer. Don't undo. Change the tab to dimension. Make it skinny. Don't make it that fat wire.
What would you have me do?
I don't know what that is.
With 0.1.
Where's that? What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Where do I?
Did you undo too much?
No.
It's still on the dimension. Right click that and do properties again. Your line. It's still in the dimension. You didn't, so right click, change group, put it back on the wrench. Well, you didn't need to do that. Layer. 40 something reference. Right click, change group. All right, now click dimension, go to a polygon. The polygon tool, yeah.
Yes.
Change to dimension in your layer.
I just did this.
No, you skipped that part. What's your grid? Change it back to 1 millimeter. All right, now trace that thing in straight lines. There you go. You can approximate it. You can go all the way across. There you go. All right, fix your corners first.
Okay.
Those aren't 45s. Are you doing you're doing a curved bottom corner? Are those curves? You can right click on the curve and then copy the curves. No, stop. Right click on the original. Do that. Properties. Oh my god, you did this in inches. Okay. Well, make it close, I guess. So do you see where it ends? It ends down there. Make that thinner. Make those skinny wires. Change your polygon width to a different thing. You might have to change your grid a little bit lower. So right click. Right click the polygon and do properties. Change the width to 0.01. There. Now, just line it up.
This is stupid.
Well, you should. You didn't do your board outline in metric either. That's why.
Yes, I did. Yes.
It's not.
Yes, I did.
Those numbers are not metric.
Well, it's.
They're weird. God knows what.
Confused.
I think you just drew something. Right. You probably want to match those curves now. So, zoom in.
That's
and...
good enough.
Is it good? Okay, fine. And then the circles do us holes because they're mounting holes. So they do them as actual holes. There. Whoa. Oh, that's your curve's too big. So it goes out and that's a weird, don't do that shape. So make your curve less. You may have to go to 0.1 millimeter now and refine everything on your grid. Yeah. Move up and down too. You'll find the curve. There you go. Bring that dot down, straight down. There you go. Well, not quite there, but to that point up there. Bring the point. Oh my God. I don't think you grabbed it there. That's probably fine. My God, how do you not? I cry at night. All right, so you know what? It looks like a circuit board.
This isn't an outline, though.
Oh, you did a filled polygon. Start over. Why did you do that? You clicked the wrong polygon. So delete, backspace, back, undo, whatever. All right. Unfilled polygon.
What is that?
It's probably the one next to it. Where's the polygon tool?
This. This is what I used. There is no unfilled polygon.
I'm sure
There's not.
they changed all the icons, so I use the new version. I don't remember. Okay, do that. We'll go forward again. I think you could say unfilled. And right click. That's not it. Polygon pour. Do you have a polygon pour none? Hatch.
Oh, I want a drink.
Me too. You want me to just design it for you?
No.
Okay. I don't think it's not filled polygon. Maybe is it outline? It can't be. Or it just didn't get a filled shape. Try a new. Do this again.
Can I
Okay.
just
Get rid of that? And go and then draw lines. Can I see your icons? I cannot see your screen. You have like a million dots per inch. All right, do lines again, I guess.
Here, you sit down and
do it.
No, just figure out the dimension
Yeah.
so that I can have flood filled. Do you want a beer? I want a beer.
Yeah, make me a beer. It's always good to drink on Easter, right? Hi, everybody. All right, let me figure out Sarah's thing, her mouse. Everything's different, so I'm gonna be really bad. Shh. I'm doing your board. You don't do that to my beer. All right. I haven't used Eagle 7 in like 6 months, so I don't remember all the icons because they changed everything. So let's do the line tool. I think it's a wire. Wire. Okay, as an experiment, I'm going to see if we can fix this one problem first. So let's change the width to. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw a box and see if it properly does my ground plane. Where's the They moved the icons and made them different. It blows me away. All right, that's not a filled shape. Why is it doing this? All right, I've forgotten some fundamental thing about.
Here, I gave you the cold boom
I
shot.
literally forgot how to use an old version of Eagle. After how many years? That's
a whole beer over your head.
Split polygon. Usually when you close something on a dimension layer, you have a closed shape. Let's try this. Usually if something's outside of the ground plane you made, then it will fill that too because it's trying to flood your ground plane. So
I'm gonna flood your ground pane.
yeah, ground plane.
Ground pane.
Why is this being bad? Have I literally forgot how to use this tool?
I don't remember it working this way either. I've never had this problem before. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So something's fucked, and I have no idea what is fucked.
I thought if you had a closed polygon in the dimension layer, it would ignore everything outside that space. And am I missing? Did I draw? I thought there was a filled polygon and unfilled polygon.
You should check the comments and see if somebody's clicked.
Oh god.
Here, nope.
Oh, do whatever your thing is. I don't understand your computer.
Where's the mouse? Motherfucker. Where?
LOL. No. What do we got here? Shakes fist at confusing software. Silly imperial system.
No.
We mark stream. We have a beer. Okay. So nothing there. So
We're like, can we get a lifeline from our friends watching? If anyone knows what problem we're having or understands what we do not, please tell us what we're failing to do. Does that say coconut?
Cutout. That's a cutout. That's a flood. That's a regular thing. Thermal, thermal, thermal. Keep orphans.
Say down beer for breakfast.
Yeah, orphans are turned on. It's not supposed to keep orphans, so I don't know why it's doing that. Thermals. Orphans.
Thermal.
No orphans. Why does it think there's orphans?
Thermal Horthans.
Orphans. Isolate? No, that's a width. Oh, it's not ground, that's why. Somehow you didn't name that ground.
It wouldn't let me.
There. There. You did, yeah, if you don't name it ground, then it doesn't treat it like a floodplain. So
Can I use my original TAKO layer then? Can you put it?
We've already saved and undone and redone.
No. You just turn it off.
Oh, this one?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. So like turn everything off except for whatever layer we put the TAKO outline on, and then switch that back to dimensions and get rid of the rectangle.
All right.
And then I'll not have to do that awkward thing with the curve that everyone had to bear witness to in my geometrical prowess. Yay! And in case my parents are watching, we're pre-gaming for your place.
I'm pretty sure your parents aren't watching.
I wonder if they've ever watched one of my streams.
Probably for like 5 minutes.
I wonder if they've ever watched one of my videos.
No. What am I looking for? The draw the box tool.
Noodle!
Let's duplicate this.
Noodle gets to come to my parents' place for Easter because he goes to all the family events. And like my extended family thinks I'm fucking insane. My parents get it though, but I don't think like
I don't know if they get it.
I don't think like Kevin or any of the other people in the family understand it. They just think I'm special.
Oh, I don't like these icons. They're awful. Where's copy paste? Holy crap. They made icons that nobody can understand.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. That's the 2 sheets.
Oh my god. I think I skipped this version, so these icons are completely alien to me. Alright, so I have a reference, but I'm gonna copy this whole group, right? I set my grid really coarse to like 10 millimeters, and now I'm gonna select this again. Where is the select tool?
I'm just like standing behind you burping.
Oh my god. All right.
I'm like grabbing my own ass and burping.
That's me at work. All right, change layer, dimension, change group, move group.
Can we stop at Sam
And
Smith's?
then everybody's closed probably. Well, we can try, but I think everybody's closed today.
No, that's okay.
And then turn off reference.
Because we don't have beer at my
And
parents'
now
place.
she said she had beer.
It's just Corona. I guess that's fine.
I'll bring a jug of our stuff.
Okay.
I'll bring a growler.
A growler.
Alright, top. And then re-render. There.
Woo!
Yeah, it was your ground plane was not named ground, and when you do that, it doesn't flood it like other thing. It doesn't do that board outline flood. So that's what you did.
Is it happy now?
Yeah, it looks happy.
I got you a beer. It's actually 1.5 beers. It's right there.
Oh, thank you very much. I got 1.5 liters of beer to kill here. No, it's
not a liter.
Oh, it's a 750.
It's a pint and a half.
That's like a whole bottle of tequila's worth of beer. Okay.
It's a pint and a half of beer. Just for you.
Cheers.
Cheers,
everybody.
Happy Egg Day. Noodle
Happy
says,
Egg Day.
Happy Fertility Day to you. And Noodle too. He says he's very fertile. So
Yes.
I think I'm gonna use one of these suction cups and make Noodle a suck foot. So I'm gonna take the suction assembly and I'm going to stick this inside of one of Noodle's foot frames with the cup so that he can suckle things with his feet. So he'll be able to nurse like a real baby, even though he's
baby robot.
like
Off the blood of his enemies.
Yes. He's going on 5 now, actually. Like,
Yes.
he's 4 now, technically,
Send him
so...
to robot kindergarten.
Noodle, you have to go to kindergarten. Which is, like, space camp forever for Noodle. They still don't walk very well. I'm working on that. Actually, I think I stated this last night to no one but Mark, but I think the plan is that I'm going to keep working on Shiban stuff, like, focused until the end of May, and then once the summer starts, I'm going to switch back to Noodle's legs. One of my friends kind of put the nail in the coffin and told me that in his current form, he's probably not capable of walking very well, or not in the way that I've been trying to get him to walk since I made him. So I'm going to have to actually go through with that new leg design that adds the extra range of motion and make 4 of them and make a chassis and then teach that how to walk. So Noodle's basically going to get a body transplant. And then since I was talking about making Noodle a new brain, he's probably going to get a new head too. Well, his head's going to be the same. So his head is going to get put on new legs and he's going to get a new brain. And then the old legs are going to be retired and put in the feet basket with all of his other old legs. Because they're like his baby teeth. It's like when a crab molts and his little crab skin cracks and then like the...
You should make an actual molting robot.
Noodle is a molting robot.
No, it really forms a carapace through, like... You could have like a silicone spongy inner layer.
Yeah.
And the liquid comes out and then you UV resin it.
Yeah.
And then he splits it, and then pops out of it, and then crawls away, and then he makes a new shell, and he can just make a room of like carapaces.
Summer leg Noodle. Sanity is the playground of the unimaginative.
Exactly.
Mr. Bong, that is a good quote.
Mr. Bong.
Yes. Did you guys have a good 420? Like, we don't smoke, but I know everyone who does smoke probably went and did something cool yesterday.
What? Why was it pot day yesterday? Why?
I don't know. I don't understand why, but 420 is like, that's the smoking pot day. It's a number that is associated with the culture of smoking the reefer.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't.
Shows what I know.
I know that because when I was in high school, one of my best friends was the biggest pothead in the entire high school. And she would ask me and my dad too, actually, if we wanted to smoke a bowl with her every day after school, and we always said no, because it's just not my thing.
Smoke a bowl.
I've never been the bowl smoker.
I have never smoked a bowl.
I've never smoked them bowls. But I do like my beer. Mark has
I don't need drugs.
Mark has 1.047 E minus 10 cubic furlongs of beer. That's an awesome number, Mr. Bond.
Wow.
That is
I like measuring it in furlongs.
Furlong. What is a furlong? Is that a name? A furlong?
What? A furlong is like some... Well, I'm going to guess.
What the fuck is it?
I'm going to guess a furlong is something in between half a mile and a full mile. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Ooh, I'm going to Google that.
You should look that up. I know what a fathom is.
Furlong to feet.
Like, I love the word fathom, but I do not know what a furlong...
A furlong is 660 feet, so I was not correct. It is a little more than a tenth of a mile. I want to say maybe it's 15% of a mile. 660 feet.
It's not just furry, it's also long.
It's 220 yards.
I dig that.
Interesting.
Cool,
Furlong.
everyone has beer. Cheers, guys. Yeah, here's to Egg Day. I mean, here in this house we celebrate fertility and eggs. Noodle celebrates fertility and eggs.
Every day.
Every day. It's like his thing. I think Noodle is like technically a fertilizing robot.
He's the Easter Bunny automation replacement. He's the self-checkout of Easter.
The self-checkout of Noodle. He's gonna go to my parents' place and be a Noodle. I wonder who's gonna be there. I bet you Kevin will be there. We're gonna be watching hockey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody that was going to meet isn't meeting.
Well, no, I think, like, I speculate that my family is just blowing off the rest of the family. So, like,
Yeah, Laura will be like, no, we still did Easter.
Oh, yeah, she
They were
will.
like,
I guarantee you, like, Marianne and Dolores and, like, all of the family are still going to go to Laura's. It's just my family that's like being however we are.
Yeah.
That's what they
That
do.
would not surprise me.
Me neither.
Passive aggressive.
Whatever. Mark's. Is your thing ready to pour? Speaking of.
I'm gonna go check it. It was about to finish, so
Ooh, it's about
let
to
me go
finish.
snap that off the printer.
You should totally show it. It's neat. It has all these little
We're running out of
sleeves.
time here, so we have less than 2 hours left.
Right. The other thing I was gonna ask you is on the LED. Is it power ground in out or ground power in out? Or does it not matter?
For what? Your pad ring?
For the LEDs.
For the how you...
Yeah.
Well, you can put your solder pads however you want.
No. For the it's pins. It's a pin connector for the LED circuit. Is it ground power in out or power ground in out?
The last pin is ground. The second to last pin is power.
Power
And then all
in
the
out.
pins before that are...
in out.
So I would do in out. So I would do ground, power, in, out.
Okay.
Sure. Let's put 4 wires next to each other.
Okay. All right, then I'm almost done. That's good.
All right, I'll go check my thing.
It's an eighth of a mile. David F says a furlong is an eighth of a mile, Mark.
Hey, that sounds right.
Yes. You know it's a good day when the beer gets bursted out. I mean, it's probably around 1 when I poured these. It's 1:13 now, so you know it's a good Sunday when you're routing boards and drinking beer at like 1 in the afternoon. Although we're gonna be around family for the rest of the day, which is probably not gonna be too bad because it's like my immediate family and I'm like really like acclimated to socially handling them for long periods of time. And we get to watch a hockey game. Is anybody else a hockey fan? Like, I know a lot of you are from, like, not the US. I realize that, so, like, probably not so much of a big thing in other countries. Hockey's sort of this weird, like, North America, US sport because I think it originates from Canada or, like, the Midwest Great Lakes area of our country, I guess. But I'm from Detroit originally, so I'm a big hockey fan because I grew up with it, and now even though I've lived in Vegas for most of my life, I've always watched hockey. Oh, he's got his thing.
So here's the thing.
Here, this is way more important than hockey.
All right, here's my mold.
Wait, let me switch the camera over. Wait. Oh god. Oh man, here.
It gets bigger in hot water. So
No, it doesn't.
So here's my first version. If it's too small, I'll make it bigger. It's parametric CAD. Anyways, so that's the mold. Pour in that end. And so that's the approximate penis size. The rubber stretches. So I made this small. Sure, I made this small.
It's not rubber.
Well, silicone, they call it silicone rubber. So this is the interior of the mold. You can see these little fins, and it's hard to see, but they kind of, from the inner wall of your thing, they come off at an angle like that. And so those will form little pockets for each motor to slip into on the outside of the rubber. And then the inside of the rubber will just be a simple hole shape that this forms out. I drafted this a little bit, so it's a couple of millimeters less diameter on the top than the bottom, so that as I'm pulling it out of the mold, it'll want to demold easier.
It deshucks.
It deshucks easier because if it was a perfect cylinder, it would literally drag its way all the way out of the mold, and you might fight it and then end up breaking the mold or the plastic or the rubber or whatever. So that's what the thinking there was. So
I think you're gonna break all of those little sheath things
well,
off. But
what I'm hoping is I'll mold this, then this will come out, and then the rubber that's in here, I can just kind of tug off the sidewall.
I want to watch
I'll just be patient.
I want to watch you demold.
I'm going to be patient with it. I promise. I'm going to get it, and I'm just going to, pull it away, and hopefully I don't tear it. So otherwise, we'll be doing this again.
Hopefully I don't
But
tear it.
we have a release agent, which we have not had in the past, because I've demolded these and it was a pain.
Super easy with the demolding.
I know, but it's a little better. I'll probably rub it, like I'll spray it and then I'll rub it with my hands to get it into the grooves, because 3D printing leaves these microscopic grooves, and that's like sandpaper almost to something like that. So you want to smooth it out. That's my theory. So
Okay.
I will maybe I'll pour this before we take off.
You totally should. I'll film it on the stream. You guys can watch him pour. So if you get that prepped and
because
ready.
Amazon says my package has arrived over at where I have mail delivered, so I kind of want to get over there.
So when do you want to leave then?
So my other project is I bought a laser cutter.
I told them.
Yeah, so the problem with the laser cutter is it doesn't come with all the things you need.
He didn't get all the things.
Well, most of the accessories were just like overpriced by 3x on each thing, like the cooling unit, the ventilation, and all that. We're just outrageously priced. So what am I working on? I got a blower working about an hour ago.
In a bucket.
They tell you to put their pump in a bucket, which is the only thing that was easy. But you have to evacuate the smoke out of that thing with a 4-inch ducting. So I have a blower that will work for that. I just need a bunch of 4-inch ducting and tubing. Luckily, I work at a place called Blue Man Group, and I've taken home lots of throwaway 4-inch ducting. So hopefully I have enough of that in the garage. It needed I wanted to give it its own dedicated laptop, mainly because the software it runs is Windows, or it runs on Windows. I don't run Windows, so I bought a Windows laptop, the cheapest one I could find on Amazon, and that will live with the laser cutter in the garage. So you just turn it on, get on the network, copy your file over to your cutting. So that's the idea for that. So, and what else did I get? Oh, and an air source, an air compressor. I found the Chinese version that they use on Amazon for a third of what they sell it for. So that shows up Monday, and then Tuesday I will be cutting stuff on my laser cutter.
So this is important because the first version of Noodle's legs, after I get the 3D printed prototype produced, is going to be made in acrylic. So the point is, I'm going to see where the weakest points of his legs are, so when they break, I can beef up those parts and modify the design, and then once I'm absolutely sure I want his new bones to be the way that they are, I'm going to take that CAD design and have it cut professionally using a, what is it, laser cutter?
Fiber laser.
It's a fiber laser, which is a
like
fancy,
1,000 watt.
It's like
They cut steel.
It's a
Yes.
big kid toy,
Yes.
and it's like really close to where we live. It's literally like around the corner from where we are, and it's something that I can have done. But I want to be absolutely sure that that it's the way I want it before I get that process exacted upon some metal, and then Noodle will have really nice, precise bones. Because I think it's like 3 years ago now, which is when I made his last set of legs, like the bones, the bones. Me and Noodle's other daddy cut those out of aluminum manually, or I cut them. I was outside with the bandsaw very, very slowly cutting this like aluminum stock, and then I had to sand it, and I had to make sure the holes were in the correct space. And Tony made me this
jig.
It was a jig for making sure that I drilled the holes where the joints are supposed to go in like the exact same spot for every single bone, so that everything was nice and registered and aligned and consistent. And I took his steel jig and I marred the shit out of it.
You ruined the jig.
I ruined it. I fucked it to hell. Like it looked like a blast crater of some bad things.
Yay.
And because of that, Noodle's legs are kind of off. So I'm hoping to do better this time. And I'm eliminating myself from the process. So
I'm gonna set up my.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna move this so that they can see you do it.
All right.
And then I'm gonna stuff some eggs.
All right. I gotta spray the mold first. Where's your spray?
I think it's in the kitchen.
All right. I'm gonna go outside and hit this.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna set up a molding area over there.
Okay, and I'll move the camera. Cool, you guys can see him pour his weird
Then we'll pour this
fleshlight thing.
flashlight replacement.
Cause I'm gonna have to shower and get the deviled eggs stuffed. Or I can change the camera and you can watch me make deviled eggs. I don't know. What do you guys prefer? Normally I'd end the stream, but today's kind of a weird day. I feel social. I don't know. How are you guys doing? Is everyone hanging in there? I'm gonna get back to that board. Where is it? Okay, I'm gonna check the chat too. A bucket of distilled water is good enough, but watch temps and be sure pump is working and bubbles out of the tube before cutting. It's good. Good advice, Mr. Bong. I don't know anything about any of that, but he's gonna do it. Extraction is vital. It can be quite poisonous depending on what you cut. He didn't want to get the nice extractor, so that kind of concerns me. I don't know. I don't know if what he's doing is unwise or wise. I don't know if he's being cheap or if he's making a good judgment call. I can't tell. I don't have the wisdom to tell in one form or another. Hopefully he doesn't end up killing himself. Oh man, I lived in Rochester Hills, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit. I lived there till I was 7, and then we moved to Las Vegas. And like the entire time that I lived here, we did not have a hockey team in Vegas, so I was a Red Wings fan. And last year, Vegas got a hockey team, and now all of my friends care to watch hockey all of a sudden, which is really great because I have people to watch hockey with, because my whole life I did not. So last year around this time we watched every single playoff game because it was our first year, woo! And we made it all the way to the finals and then we lost. So it was a bittersweet season full of alcohol, fun times, and chicken wings, and we definitely enjoyed it. But the playoff season just started. I think this is round 1. It's a deciding game, and I'm hoping that we win tonight because then we'll have eliminated the San Jose Sharks from the playoffs, which is good. Yes, there's totally a lot of lag. I apologize. But yeah, I don't know why there's lag. It's just a thing today. Like, I did everything on my end to make sure that it's not my hardware, so I'm not really quite sure what the culprit for the lag is. Oh hey, AP Tech. How are you doing? Let's see. So, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this thing off. Like, I'm probably gonna end up adding some, like, bypass capacitors and some other little knickknacks that Mark deems necessary for this design. But I'll probably do that after this stream, because that's boring. Not that any of the rest of this wasn't super boring, but, you know. I'm gonna switch back over to this now that I know what order these things need to be in. So that was ground, power, in, and out. Ground, power, oh, in, and out. See, it's like I'm doing aerobics or something. Wait. I don't know if I did that correct. We shall see. Doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. So I'll have to call Mark.
What?
How do I do that in and out thing for the pin?
Let me show you.
No. No.
First, order a pizza. All right.
How do you do the in and out? Like, where do those go?
You have your input connector. Yeah. No, put your grounds on 4. Reverse that. Bad Raptor.
Why?
Because put your ground and aim it downward.
No.
Use the ground signal properly.
No.
There, that's better.
I don't use the ground butt plug properly.
All right, now put your V on the next pin. I guess you could do that.
Shh.
Makes me cringe when I see that. And now attach your signals. Put your dots down. Blah blah blah.
No.
Oh, we're wires.
Wait, but what are they named? Like, what
You
is...
name your. You can say.
So if
this is your @mega. So you're gonna say call it pixel or.
So I'm gonna name. But there's one. But what about the other? So if
Okay,
I
the
name,
first one's gonna have
this...
an in and out, and the second one's only gonna use in, right?
Okay.
Well, you can call it out too. So you could say.
String.
You can call it strang. I mean, call it pixel 1, pixel 2. I don't know.
Well, they're two different strands of 4.
Okay,
right?
and then you're rename your connectors. So you have strand 1, strand 2, right?
Yes.
Are you having 4 of those?
No, just 2. There's
How is
2.
that gonna work?
What do you mean?
I thought you had a pixels per cup, and you have 8 cups.
But they're gonna be daisy chained like this.
Oh, you're not daisy chaining your motors. That's gonna make a weird arrangement of wires.
No, so like it's an in 1, 2, 3, 4 out, and then in 1, 2, 3,
Well,
4 and out.
Why wouldn't you just have a wire with each chunk? It's the same problem I have with the vibrator thing. It's like each chunk has the control signals and it has the other things.
Because they each need to be discretely controlled. The motors.
No, but they all come from the same source, don't they?
What do you mean source?
Is the motor? You're driving the motors with the same board as the LEDs, right?
Yeah.
Well, they can all just have one bushel of wires.
There.
But you're daisy chaining these in a weird. Your wires are gonna like go from thing to thing and also from back and forth. It's gonna look weird.
What do you mean from back and forth?
Like your board is your root, right?
Yes.
You can have all your signals coming in, but that's why we did in and out, because we're sending the signal out and then bringing it back and then putting it on the next connector and sending it out and bringing it back. So your board acts as a hub for all of this fun.
What would I do then? Like, what?
You're going to have also 8 connectors, one for each Calamari, but you might, and it'll be just like that. I thought you'll have a set of 4-pin for each of these.
I thought they were daisy chain though.
Well, the signal's daisy chain, but you're bringing it back to the hub board and then sending it to the next connector over and back out. That's totally okay to do. You're just... But your cabling is going to be a lot easier because you're going to have one bundle of cables going to each sucker instead of the suckers being attached. I get what you're saying. Electrically, yeah, you're trying to do that, but you can use this board as the hub to bring signals out and bring them back and then move them to the next connector and send them out and bring them back.
So what am I doing?
Okay?
Am I getting rid of all of this?
No. You're just going to do 8 of those, and then they're going to yes, because they're going to correspond to your 8 suckers. And then each sucker will have a 3-pin connector and a 4-pin connector, right?
Yeah.
So you can either put them next to each other. It doesn't matter at that point because everything comes to the board and you just plug
But then the
them in.
connectors are only partially connected to each other, so the connectors are weird.
What? What do you mean the connectors are only partially connected to each other?
Don't they need to be daisy chained to one another?
The signal's daisy chained because you brought it back to the board that sourced it and you're sending it back out to the next connector. And that's the next thing we're going to hook up.
Oh.
You do all of that thing in your illustration you're going to do here in this schematic.
Oh, okay. So do I copy this? Do I copy?
So, yeah, just copy that for now. into 8 replications of that, you're gonna run out of time.
Here.
So I have to start doing things.
What? The current grid in your board window is 10 million.
Ignore that because the Eagle sucks. All
Wait,
right.
why won't it let me do the...
Eagle is an a-hole in that
Wait,
regard.
why can't I copy and paste that?
You can.
It didn't let
I think
me.
you say yes instead of no.
Oh.
Just say, yeah, I know,
Okay.
dumbass. It's because your board has a different grid, and I don't know why they do that. Like, if you're in the 1970s laying out boards, I get it, but we're not.
Alright, go set up your mold. I'm gonna do eggs.
Okay.
Really? This is annoying. Mark,
What?
this is annoying.
Yes, it is. What's new?
Fuck me. Okay. Okay.
All right, your first connector is going to take the pixel pin off your microcontroller on its input, right? So you're going to rename your, I think your inputs are this number 2, and then 3 will be your output, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why you're calling them strang.
Because that's
I guess
what
it doesn't
this is, 1 and
matter,
2.
whatever.
So this is like, this is line 1 and this is line 2.
So you have 2
So-
sets of strangs.
Yes.
Okay, so,
So-
you're gonna have to rename these because they're whatever. So you're gonna do you're gonna have 1 string, 2 string. Is that what you're doing?
Sure, yeah.
All right, so that's string 1.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, rename the pin 2 to string 1. Wait, don't do that. All right, do this. So that's already string 1. So pin 2, instead of the tags, just delete the tags and then just wire that into pin 1. So
Into
get rid of
pin
all the
1?
tags on the other ones, yeah.
No. No.
Click on that there, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Get rid of the whatever. Why are you sniffing me? Okay, so use your wire tool. Connect pin 2 to pin 1 on the next connector down. Yes. All right. Escape. Do the pin 2 to pin connector on the next one down. That's our daisy chain. Do you see that? Click and then click again. Here.
And then this
All right,
one.
and get rid of that wire because it's not connected to anything. It's the end of the line. And then do the same thing on the one on the right with string 2. And then that's your daisy chain. So it comes out of the string and back and right?
Okay.
Yeah, 4 wires.
Noodle says, all right, I guess.
You know, let it slide this time.
He says he's
He lets
gonna
a lot
let
of
it.
things slide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He himself slides.
he slides.
He's a slider. Are you ready? Oh god. You gonna get your mold release on?
Yeah, that's already there. I'm just doing this, the mold bit now.
Okay. Let's switch back over to the board, shall we? Ah. Oh wait, I don't have anything turned on. Nothing's turned on, Mark.
Yeah, it's my storyline.
Wait, so I'm gonna have 8 connectors for these as well? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
This board does not have the power.
The room?
Yes.
What?
There's not enough room on this TAKO.
Make the taco bigger.
Stretch it out, you mean?
Stretch out your taco.
God damn it.
Stretch your inner taco.
Ah! That shouldn't be too hard. I can do this. The stretching, that is. There. I just doubled my taco size. Wow, that actually wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. It's never as hard as I thought it would
Did you
be.
double your tacos in? You stretched it?
I moved it. Yeah, that worked. What is this other outline?
Reference.
Ah,
You can delete it if you want.
delete the reference.
Alright.
T restrict. Okay. I might not
It's
need
not
that.
on T restrict.
What?
It's not on T restrict.
No, I was just saying the word because
Oh, you're just saying the word because.
it felt good coming out of my
Wow.
face.
Alright. Let's do this.
Do you want me to move the camera over to your beautiful whatever?
You need to.
Do you want company while you cast your whatever it is?
You don't have to.
Your weenus?
Unless people want to see how this is done.
Noodle says he's going to rearrange your T-docu. So I sat and did Splatfest last night. I sat on the couch and did... Actually, I didn't even really do Splatfest. I did Salmon Run on Splatoon 2 while drinking Lambic, Raspberry Lambic, which was like probably 3 years old now. It tasted like vinegar, but like the good kind of vinegar, the kind of vinegar you want to chug. Or I want to chug because I'm
What's
a...
the kombucha?
Yes, it tasted like kombucha. It was delicious.
You're still alive.
Yeah, it didn't kill me, so that means it was a good experience. Mark is, do you know what you're doing?
I need stirs. What do you use for stirs?
There's wooden sticks down in that drawer, except I think I used the last two.
Buy another set of those.
There might be some.
You use them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you use them. That's what raptors do.
They use you up.
You literally use everything that you have.
Raptors.
Yes.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Aquarius. I have this like inkling to watch Barbarella again for some reason.
Classic. We should watch Zardoz.
Sure.
It tried to be Barbarella with what's his name,
Yeah?
and it was so horribly bad. It was good. It got cult following.
I'm so horribly bad.
You should watch that.
Zardoz?
Zardoz.
It's Burt Reynolds, I think. And his costume is like pathetically funny. It's like
Oh yeah, that's
the guy in the underwear looking.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Sounds like a good idea at the time, and now we look at it and go, "Oh my god!"
It always does.
So I need to watch it because I have actually never watched it. So. On my list,
It's on your list of. Ugh.
Zardoz. There needs to be a Joe Bob for bad sci-fi.
That could be us, Mark.
If that doesn't exist already, but yeah, we could do bad sci-fi. Kind of, you know, inspired by his format.
So once June happens, it becomes kiddie pool season, and we inflate this kiddie pool for the whole summer. And on weekends, my friends come over and we watch movies in this pool. But until then, we've got like another month until then. We are going to set up a screen in the backyard, a projection screen, and we're going to make our own drive-in movie theater because there's enough room in Mark's backyard that you could fit probably 4 cars. So we're going to invite 4 friends of ours with cars over to do the drive-in movie experience. That's like the goal for the pre-summer before spring is officially over. Right, Mark?
Yes.
So I really need 16 connectors? Like, really?
Well, then everything comes off of that board, and then each sucker has its own
Suck?
way to, like, if you're having a problem, you can move it to a different connector and troubleshoot. Easier to hook up. Your wiring's going to be more clean.
But I don't know which one goes to which. Like, it doesn't say. It just says J and then some...
Oh, change your J numbers to what you want. Sucker 1, sucker 2.
It says... Wait, where's the J numbers? Like...
On the bottom of those connectors.
Oh! Okay. How do I know which one corresponds with which? Do I do that in software?
Well, your signal. Because you did pixel 1, pixel 2, pixel, right?
Yeah.
So name them accordingly, 1 through 8, in the same order as your other one, or your servo connectors.
But you pair them up in software, right?
Well, you can move them in software. Well, the LEDs are just whatever they are in software, but they're sequential in their when they go down the chain, right?
I cry at night. How do I change the J number?
Rename, just name it.
In the schematic or the
In the
board?
schematic. So hit the rename tool with the connector.
Ah. Suck 1. Suck 7. Mark is making a big sticky mess. Okay, so how did that map? It did not. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna smash all these. That's a cool thing you can do in Eagle. You can smash stuff. Where's my smash tool? Smash. Raptor smash. I can separate the text from the connector so that I can rotate it and they're not overlapping one another like assholes. So I can do that. See all this work that goes into making a circuit board? You know who's really good at making circuit boards fast? You guessed it. Mark is really good at making circuit boards super fast.
Going for it. This is even half of my EagleCAD. Not even that much. Let's calculate volume incorrectly.
What?
I think I'm gonna have a ton of extra, but better than being short.
Like how much extra? Did you measure it? I thought you did math. Like you said.
Well, I did a bunch of math based on this cup, but I may have buffered everything.
Overcupped.
Yeah, I don't want to be under, so.
Not good when you overcup.
Whatever. Let's buy more.
No overcupping. Ugh. My numbers are all a fuck. So I'm gonna write this down so I can change them appropriately. So 3 needs to be 1. 8 needs to be 2. 2 needs to be 3. 1 needs to be 4. 7 needs to be 5. 6 needs to be 6, so that's correct. 7, 5, okay, no, right. There. Noodle is a pizza. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Suck one. And then suck 4 needed to be 1. And suck 2 needed to be suck 3. One, 2, 3, 4. 7 needs to be 5. And 5 needs to be 5 to 7. We good now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. That wasn't miserably hard. Okay, so for the next bout, 10 needs to be 1, 9 needs to be 2, 11 needs to be 3, 12 needs to be 4, 13 is 5, 14, 6, 15, 7, 18, or 16, 8. Okay. Just going crazy. Alright. 10. Alright, so now I'm going to name these connectors down here. Blank 1. Let's see if this worked. It did! Yay! I love it when things work. Close enough. Noodle says,
Yeah, they like
how much
three
extra?
ti- 3 times. I must have got a number wrong.
You have 3 times as much?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with that goop?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to make find a container and make my own extra fleshlight.
Hey, can I use some of it? If I
You got the
set,
mold?
yeah.
Then get it over here.
Let me spray these real quick. I'll be right back. Hey, Mr. Postman.
your mold. That has 3 buttons.
You can entertain this streamer.
Yeah.
Tell them what I'm doing.
All right, Sarah stepped away for a minute. She's molding another suction cup because Mark tried to be clever and using volume math that he Googled, calculate how much liquid I need for this mold, and some measurement is way off because I have 3 times as much stuff as I need. So yeah, I made 3 times as much as what I need. So she's gonna, rather than waste like a whole mold's worth of stuff, she's gonna make a whole suction cup. You might have enough for 2 suction cups for all I know. But yeah, I used like half of the $50 worth of molding material, and I'm like, this doesn't look right, and then yeah. So life goes on. What it is. Your board looks nice. Yeah, you need a crystal for your microcontroller. Don't forget that. You need to pull up for your reset line. You need bypass capacitors. All the stuff that's in your other circuits you do like that. You'll need a way to hook up power to this thing.
Yes.
You could probably make a jumper for the power for the motors on the board so that when you're programming these, you can put the jumper in.
Okay.
And power that off of like USB and then break the jumper so that, or vice versa or something, so that you can power the board and the motors from one source. But when you want to program it, you can unapply the power to your servos so that they don't drag down your USB connection because there's not enough current there. So that will be a thing.
Is it this cup?
The one that has liquid in it, yes. The full one.
Jesus Christ, why did you do this?
I suck at math, I guess.
How could you even think this would be?
One of the results on Google, it gave me an exponent, like 1.81 to the 10 to the 5th power. And I think I was thinking that was 10 to the 6th or something and added an extra 0 and ended up with more volume than I thought. And didn't really think it through because I'm trying to get this done, so I wasn't really overthinking it.
This is like 4 suction cups worth.
Yeah, do you have any more molds?
Potentially.
So that. I'd look at chat, but I don't want to mess with Sarah's screen. So I don't know how to switch over to the chat. Can I just click the chat at the bottom? Yeah? Will that work? Or the left, where's your icon bar? Or not. Is it Discord that you chat on?
No.
OBS?
No, type or click Safari.
Oh, it's in Safari. There it is. All right. What do we got here? AP Tech says, "Hey, Mark." Yay. Oh God. Oh, Aswan must have joined late because he's like, "Is this lag? I don't see anything." Yeah, we were off camera molding something, Aswan. Sorry. Because I just explained I had too much. I made too much molding material, so rather than waste it, Sarah is making her own, putting her own molds together and making extra suction cups. So that's my donation to that project. So
You have so much of this. I could make like.
I used
4
half
these.
of what I purchased.
Jesus.
Like there's $20 worth of silicone right there. So.
Like I don't have any other molds to use.
I'll make a
Mold something.
yeah. I'll
Make
mold I'll mold a fleshlight thing, and then we can report on that. I need a piece of PVC pipe and a cup.
Actually, there is something I could use.
What else? You want to make something?
Yeah, I need. Where's the other one of these?
Darp. There's that. Oh, that's
But
gotta be around. What are you gonna make?
I want 2 skins.
What? 2 skins. Oh, you want some skin?
Yeah.
Mark the mold man. Yeah, I'm the mold man. You need to clean up your workspace because you can't find the things you've discarded. It's not underneath Noodle. I could pour it into the rounds and make myself a set of boobies to play with. Yeah, you're gonna sacrifice that? Oh, you're evil.
No, I'm just. It's gonna
Okay.
get used and cleaned out.
All right. Yeah, sorry to make the stream boring. That's just what it is.
What are you doing?
We're making the stream boring because you stepped away.
Sorry.
Yeah, Sarah's still has. She made another mold with my leftover mold material, and she's has an idea. She ran out of molds, so now she's making another mold with another shape. She has some idea for some. I guess she's gonna pour it thin into a skin, and use that for something. I don't know what. But yeah, she just wants to not waste all of this silicone I made too much of. So. Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, I bought a laser cutter. I wanted one for literally 20 years. I saw one somewhere and they were really expensive at the time, and so now they've come way down in price for hobby lasers. I saved up my money and I bought it, but all the accessories were like way overpriced from the place I bought it. So I went out and did my Google searching and found each of those things for a way to build the thing that I'm trying to do for lower price. So I am excited to get my laser cutter running. Hopefully by Tuesday, I can start cutting. I have a ton of ideas for things I want to make. One of the things I want to do is what's Alan's handle? Any technology on Twitter. He makes shirts where he cuts. I think he uses X-Acto, but he makes he cuts out of like paper material. He cuts stencils out and puts them on a T-shirt, and then I think he bleaches out where he doesn't want. He bleaches out the color of the shirt for where the stencil was made, and I'm too lazy to do that. So with the laser cutter, I'm going to make my own stencils for some designs that I have, some ideas, and do that same technique and bleach out patterns and words or schematics or something on shirts so I can make my own shirts. So that's one of the things I'm going to do. What else am I going to do with my laser cutter? Definitely cut acrylic. I've been hoarding throw out acrylic. So like when me and Sarah did some robots a few years ago, I have hexagons, little 4-inch hexagons. I have boxes of them, one for each of the robots that we made, because that was the waste part. And we had the place that laser cut for us save them for us. I have just sheets of acrylic that were thrown out, that were scrap for other projects I've worked on. So I am going to make a lot of acrylic stuff. What else? What else are we going to make?
I'm making noodle bones.
Sarah's going to make test noodle bones out of acrylic. And then she can see where the stress points are, where they crack. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then when she's ready, then she'll go have them laser cut out of metal at a professional place. So you good?
You have some
All right,
leftovers still.
I'll clean up the mess.
All right, guys, I gotta wash my hands because I
just dumped wire.
need to wash my hands because
Right.
I have sticky shit all over them. So I'll be right back. Find some use for that.
I don't know. I'll keep talking to your audience. All right, Sarah's washing her hands from the toxic, whatever that stuff was, the silicone.
What are you talking about?
About you washing your hands. So that's that.
Okay.
All right, do it.
Hey. Okay. Right. None of these are hooked up yet. Sorry, guys. I can't believe you used that much silicone. Mark used an inordinate amount of silicone. Like, if I saw that my calculations told me to use that much liquid for the size mold.
No, it looked right. I marked the cups and I'm like, yeah, it's about right. And then once I poured it, I'm like, this is not right.
Your dick ain't that big, Mark. That's like...
Is that what we think that is?
That's like a horse cock's worth.
Yeah.
Like, if he was molding, like a fleshlight for a large bovine animal, maybe. But, like...
Wow.
No, like, I could have made 4 suction cups with the extra, and his mold was pretty big. Like, now you know, mister.
Now I know.
So, do the water technique next time.
Yeah.
Then you know exactly how much you need.
I just didn't have time to dry the mold, so I didn't want to, like, ruin it.
Nomlop asked what happened to the flocking masks. Shiban happened to the flocking masks.
Yeah.
I decided to work on Shiban and then I dropped that project pretty much entirely last year. I do want to get back to it, it's just I want to finish this one first and I'm not entirely sure when that's going to happen. Like, I'm hoping maybe by the end of this year I have most of Shiban, like, done, so it feels complete, and then everything I do after that is just like a like a meditation in addition to the project. But right now, like, I still want to fill in the rest of the spaces. I said there's going to be 9 total, and I think I'm up to 5 of the total augments that I propose doing. Like, hopefully by the end of this year, depending on where I'm at, I can pick it up again, because I still have all my friends' faces cast. I don't even know where those masks went. I think they're in the back room chilling out. I don't know, mask making's kind of important to me in a weird way, so I do wanna do it. That means I'm gonna have to round my friends up back over here again and make them sit and make facial expressions again over and over. Yeah. Badger Pig says, given your name, he'd expect you'd be better at marking things. Cool. Hello, Neon Broccoli. That's like the best name ever. Where am I? Oh. There. Sorry about that. Yeah, he like poured an inordinate amount of silicone and I didn't want to let it go to waste, so I very quickly prepped one of, like, the only mold for the current version of the suction cup that I have. I haven't printed any others yet, and then poured one at the very least, and then I made 2 like baloney sized skins, I guess, using the bottom of 2 like Tupperware containers, because I want to make one of the augments for the breasts that I'm going to make is going to be like a drum. So I'm making two drums for either poop. So I want to have a good drum skin, and I don't know if like taut silicone will do the trick, or if I'm gonna end up using something else. But I want something that has a nice loppy vibration. It doesn't have to be like a tight, clean vibration like tightened animal skin or hide has, but like something that definitely has a wobble to it, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. I'll borrow that from Joe Bob. But yeah, I think since the stream quality is so poor, and I think I'm at a stopping point for the board for now, I'm gonna call the stream a quit, because I have to make eggs and I have to shower, and I think we need to leave the house in another hour.
Yep.
Okay, so I have to shower and egg myself in an hour, and then we need to leave. And I need to pack up the kid. And by kid I mean noodle feet. So so to wrap this up, I'm gonna show what I did do. So I still need to route this bank over here for the Calamari boards, and this is again where those rings are going to plug into, and they'll connect to the chip somewhere over here. And then, as Mark mentioned, I need a power plug so I can get power to this thing. I need a crystal. I need bypass capacitors. I probably need some other magical bullshit to stick on this board to make it work properly. I'll post pictures of it as soon as it's done. I do intend to make one of the sides of this thing look kind of like a noodle head face, or like a squid face, so it'll have like the octopus profile, whatever. And then, yeah, it's almost done though. I mean, it's not, I don't know by how much I increased the size when I stretched it out though, so we'll see. Hopefully it's still within my size minimum, because I know these can't be any larger than, what, 100 millimeters wide?
Wait, what?
100 by 100?
What?
The boards, they can't be larger than 100 by 100.
Yeah,
right?
that's the standard. Well, it'll just cost a little bit more, but yeah, you should fit that width into 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I stretched it. I stretched it.
You stretched it?
Yes. But yeah, there's this, and then if I save this and open up the Calamari board, there's this guy that I put like meager traces on, and I need to space those LEDs out in a more not shitty fashion. But that's pretty much it. It's not a complicated
you should
thing.
do a ground plane on that too. So.
Yeah. So this needs to be routed, but I'll do that tonight. Probably not. No, we're gonna come home and be like whacked out after all that we're gonna do. So Alright. Alright, guys, I'm gonna check the chat one more time and then I'm gonna go jaunt off and shower. Thank you for keeping me company and listening to us talk about fleshlights and tentacles and whatever else we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And enjoy the rest of your egg day. Happy fertility season.
Happy fertility season.
Get out there and make it count.
Make some
And
eggs.
Make eggs. Eat them. Devil them.
Go out and devil some eggs.
Get some peeps and squish them. Noodle
Yes.
says that that's what you're supposed to do on this holiday. He's the peep squisher.
The peep squad.
Yes. The peep stretcher. Alright, guys. Take care.
See ya.